Friends, welcome to my channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It's not difficult for you, but it's nice for me, and we're starting. I pick up the kids from school on Wednesday afternoon. It's like queues at Disneyland. Just when you think you're approaching the school, they lead you around another building. Moving slowly forward, I eventually got to the front of the queue and found Dustin and Sarah waiting for me. Now that they are 13 and 14, I am not allowed to show any affection. Ugh, disgusting, Dad. What if my friends see you doing this? Yes, they have reached the age when I work as a chauffeur, ATM, and food bank. I pick up the phone on Wednesdays because Hannah has a weekly review of the project. She leads the development team at the interior design company where she works. They are building luxury office space and mansions. As part of a national organization, they make sure that each project is special. There's nothing worse than seeing something you've paid handsomely for appear in someone's corporate public relations press release. Needless to say, I was surprised to see Hannah's sedan in the driveway. Maybe she left something she needed? Otherwise, why wouldn't she stop by the garage? After parking in my part of the garage, the children jumped out and attacked the refrigerator. Hey, take it easy, guys. Leave a place for dinner. Putting my briefcase on the floor, I entered the living room and found Hannah curled up on the couch, covered with a blanket. It was a warm day, and the house was definitely not cold. Hey, baby, what's going on? I don't feel very well. My stomach is doing somersaults and I have problems. What do you think it is? It must be some kind of flu. Okay, so why aren't you in bed? I was there, but I had an accident. Could you please change the sheets? After taking 2 steps into the bedroom, I realized what had happened to her. I went out to the garage and got a clip to put on my nose and latex gloves. At least all our beds are equipped with waterproof mattress pads. An old habit. When the children were young, they climbed into bed and sometimes had an accident. Now we are ready, but they will crawl into our bed only when they are worse off than the dog. I wasn't going to cook dinner after this ordeal, so I ordered a pizza and took a shower, emptying a can of air freshener. I damn well hope I don't get what Hannah is struggling with. After a week of agony and cleaning up the shit, Hannah made an appointment with our family doctor. It was pretty much a waste of time. Predictable answers. Probably the flu. Give him a little more time. See you in a week if it doesn't go away. So, 2 weeks later, Hannah went to the doctor again. She lost a few pounds because she didn't eat, afraid it would come out the other end. Energy drinks are her kitchen. The doctor did some blood work, but nothing was far enough out of range to warrant any further action. Over the next few weeks, Hannah learned to live with it. She felt like shit, pun intended, and was wearing adult diapers and baggy trousers to hide this fact. It was my job to pick up the groceries. No, I didn't use the list. It was easier to pay the full fare and ask Hannah to place online orders. While the kids and I wanted to do something on the weekend, Hannah never felt ready for it. We did some things without her. Our personal life has suffered a lot. This is not surprising. Who wants to do dirty things when you're risking even dirtier ones? 2 months later, Hannah went to a specialist. Of course, she felt great the day before and on the day of the appointment. They did blood tests until our insurance deductible was paid. Kiss these 5 pieces goodbye. Some elevated levels of unknown enzymes were found in her intestines. It made sense, but it wasn't explained why. It may be Crohn's disease, but the tests for this gave a negative result. She was given the oh-so-popular "keep an eye on it." One evening I jokingly asked, "Do you think I make you sick?" "How can you say that? You've been great taking care of me since it started. I'm so tired of fighting it. I wish they would find something, anything." Hannah's new life was that of a recluse. She worked a lot at home and rarely went outside. Her weight dropped another 20 pounds. She felt better from time to time, but it only lasted until the weekend. The kids were so busy with their sports schedule that they really didn't notice how rarely Hannah attended their games. Time went on as usual. Hannah wasn't sick enough to miss work, but she was slowly losing her team. The management demoted her. Months turned into years. Hannah felt guilty that we didn't make love, so she took one about once a week. It was better than nothing. After Dustin turned 16, he turned into hell on wheels. I no longer had to worry about getting him and Sarah to and from school. Now I had to worry about why they weren't at home. At least Hannah was trying to help. She rarely felt 100% herself, but she learned to live with it. For a while, Hannah seemed to be coping with her bowel problems, but it only lasted about 6 months. When the problems returned, everything was as bad as before. Hannah cried a lot. Her life went on as usual. Dustin graduated from high school and was about to go to college. Sarah graduated early and was also outside the door. The day after Sarah graduated from high school, I cornered Hannah. "We need to talk." "Good. What's the matter?" "I filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences." The stunned look turned into a full-blown rage. "Did you cheat on me? How can you do this to me? The children have grown up, and it's time for me to move on. How can you leave now? I know the last 5 years have been hard, but I've never stopped loving you. What have I done to deserve this?" "Dennis Wilson." Hannah's eyes widened. No matter how hard she tried, she couldn't hold back the tears. "Did you know?" "That's a stupid question. I was just waiting in the wings until the kids left for college. It was cheaper to support you while they were living at home. I hope it was worth it. But John, that was many years ago. We've already been through this. I'm sorry. I was wrong and I shouldn't have done it. Cry me a river of tears. Wrong or not, you did it and didn't feel any remorse. Hell, you even contacted him again when you felt better. Get off." As soon as I moved out, Hannah instantly perked up. She no longer suffered from intestinal problems. I really made her feel sick. We sold the house and split the profits. I thought I could avoid the consultation, but that wasn't the case. The result remained unchanged. I'd rather take a chance on a new search than continue with a famous cheater. The epilogue. When I found out that Hannah was having an affair with Dennis Wilson, I was devastated. I came across Hannah's secret email account. That's why I installed a program on my phone to monitor her actions. You spend your life dedicated to your partner and discover that you are not enough for her. The obsession with burning the earth faded into the background when my lawyer outlined how bleak my future life would be. Penniless, whereas Hannah will be able to put her lover in the house. In the very house that we bought together, but which I spent all my free time restoring. It's cheaper to keep her. Wait until the kids leave the house. The lawyer drilled it into my head that Hannah could file for divorce at any time, and my fate would be pretty shitty. It was enough, to the point that I was thinking about fleeing the country. In the end, I did everything I could to remain her husband. I stayed, and my children became my life, counting down the days. It was while searching the internet that I found the April Fool's joke. Mixing two over-the-counter liquid veterinary drugs can cause intestinal upset. So I bought and stored a large bottle of each of them in the garage and received a package of syringes from China. Using the indicated syringes, I injected the mixture into Hannah's coffee stocks. She loves a mixture of blueberries and hazelnuts. The kids didn't drink coffee, and I hated that mixture. For the first few days, Hannah didn't complain at all until I increased the dose of the mixture. That's why that first Wednesday was so hard for her. I've obviously overdone it. Of course, I used too much early on, but eventually I found a middle ground. It was enough to make her feel like shit, but not bad enough to send her to the doctor. It was funny how her friends, after drinking a cup of spoiled coffee together, then caught the flu. Friendly fire. I found out that she repeatedly refused Dennis. No, it wasn't because she didn't want him, she just didn't feel ready for it. In the end, he gave up. After a few years, I thought that Hannah's novel was dead and buried. That's when I cut back on my medication, although not completely, since I was still in revenge mode. But then Hannah reached out to him again. I increased the dosage, and Hannah relapsed. A week later, she went back to the specialist. The day before and on the day of her appointments, I made sure that Hannah used conditioned coffee. Although she claimed she was devastated and not ready for my divorce application, I was not moved by her tears. It was only after I gave her the investigator's report from 5 years ago that she realized how serious I was. Dennis' wife received a copy and named Hannah in her divorce petition. I made sure that all of Hannah's friends and family received copies, which is why my phone stopped ringing. I was no longer the indifferent, heartless bastard who abandoned the terminally ill Hannah in a difficult moment. Dennis suffered a lot during the divorce. Now he eats ramen noodles and drinks water while his ex-wife entertains his replacement. I find that revenge enough. As much as I wish Hannah knew how I did it, I'm afraid I may have crossed some legal boundaries. So I often grin. Will I get married again? Probably not. Maybe. Who knows? I can't even enjoy dating without fearing the heartbreaking pain Hannah caused me. Time heals is my last hope.